Hey there everybody, this is Mike, this is Low Def Media, and today we're going to be talking about Final Cut Pro. So they always tell you when you create a video that within the first 2 minutes you need to explain to your audience what it is you're doing and why it's valuable to them. Well, today we're going to be talking about my frustrations with Final Cut Pro, and hopefully what you'll gain out of it is maybe some insight that most people aren't telling you about the new Creator Studio offered up by Apple. All right, so let's get right into it. So a little backstory, if you're a fan of the channel, you've probably seen the video that I put out yesterday that explains some of my frustration with my technology. See, the Apple Neo just came out. That's a new MacBook. And while I wasn't really that interested in that laptop, just watching the videos and everything and watching what it can do at such a low price point was very intriguing. And it begged the question, can my tech do what that inexpensive entry-level laptop is doing? And so I have a MacBook Pro and I have the Mac Mini. Now, just if you just hear those things, you're thinking to yourself, okay, those are capable machines. And when they first came out, they were. My MacBook Pro came out in 2017 and I just didn't realize that until I started looking into it, all because of that video, and realized that it's an i5 Intel processor that cannot be updated to the most current operating system. And so it's not capable of running Final Cut Pro. So then I said, okay, what about my Mac Mini? So I look at that one and it's got the M1 chip, Apple Silicon. And so I'm like, okay, it should be good. I go to download it. I don't have the most current operating system because, yeah, if it works, I don't update it. Why take up the extra space on my hard drive? But now I needed to, so I updated to 26.2, I think it was, and now Final Cut will run on that. And that's when things got frustrating. See, I've been editing videos for 5 or 6 years now. And I've used everything from LumaFusion to Wondershare Filmora, iMovie, Premiere Rush, CapCut, and a couple other third-party iPhone-only apps. And so I'm pretty familiar with video editing software. Well, that wasn't until I started looking at Final Cut Pro. It's like nothing I've ever seen before. All I've heard on the internet is that people love it, that it's so intuitive, and that it's always a race between that and Premiere Pro. And now you got DaVinci Resolve, but DaVinci Resolve's on a separate planet altogether. So for most people, Final Cut Pro, Premiere Pro, those are the ones, right? Well, you know what they say, that something about meeting your heroes. Finally using Final Cut Pro was a real disappointment. To me, it felt a lot like iMovie, but with everything hidden. I couldn't find anything. I didn't even know how to import a video into the editor so I could start editing a video. Couldn't figure it out. I had to look online to figure out how to do that. And then once I got it in there, all right, so now how do I adjust it? I couldn't find any of the adjustment tools to change the color, saturation, highlights, all that stuff. So that was very challenging. And for those of you who have been using Final Cut Pro for a while, this might sound, like just unbelievable. Like, how can somebody not know how to use Final Cut Pro? But it didn't look like anything I had ever used in the past. Everything, we'll use CapCut because CapCut is a very entry level, I will say entry level when it comes to how it works, how it operates. Anybody can use it. I wouldn't say there's a learning curve. It's more like a learning slant because it's not really a curve. It's just a little bit of a progression. Everything is mapped out right there on the screen. Things like text, animation, video, audio, very easy to find, very easy to manipulate. And it runs on everything that I've got: an Apple iPad, my MacBook, my Mac Mini, my phone. It runs on everything and it all works together. Now, this isn't a plug for CapCut, but what it is is it's giving you some context as to why Final Cut Pro was so frustrating for me. And so I saw the Creator Studio and I was getting really excited. I wanted to take advantage of that $12.99 price point and get all those things that I had heard about but had never really used, and finally get away from Adobe and their high prices for their subscription services. But I gotta tell you, first, it was the debacle of trying to get my machines to a point where I could even load Final Cut Pro. Then it's the hurdles of trying to figure out how to use Final Cut Pro. Then there's the slew of other things that comes with the Creator Studio that now you have to import into your machine because you've probably not been using them. And so it seemed like a lot of work for very little payoff when I've already got Lightroom. I already use CapCut and it does everything I needed to do. And I do the Adobe Creator Cloud, whatever they call it. And so I get Adobe Express, I get the Photoshop, and I get some photo editors, but I can also make my thumbnails. I use Canva to make thumbnails. And so I really don't need any of the editing tools that come with the Creator combo offered by Apple, because I've got it somewhere else, and it, to me, just works easier and better. I did download, I think it's called Film or Photomoto. It's the downscale version of the photo editor that comes with the Creator Studio from Apple. So it's the scaled down version. It's not the big deal one. It's the scaled down version. And just trying to use that one was very intuitive. Okay, it was very easy to use, but it didn't have the tools that I needed that I get in Lightroom just for free. I mean, you can just download the app onto your phone and you get the same editing tools. So why pay for it in a subscription? And then if you do pay for the subscription, you get, masking, and you get to put stuff out on the cloud so that no matter where you plug in, you can always get your photos back up. And so, Lightroom's been doing this for years and they've got it figured out. So I'm kind of entrenched in that now. So don't want to draw this out. Just a word of caution. I know that $12.99 price point for the Creator Studio is very attractive, but do take advantage of the 30-day trial and make sure that one, your machine can run all those things, and two, that you like all the software and how you interact with it, how you make it work, because I did not. And so from someone who has been editing videos for a while, Final Cut Pro just did not improve my workflow and did not create for me a better product. So this is Mike, this is Low Def Media. Thank you so much for taking the time to check out the channel. Hopefully you enjoy talking about content creation and the gear that goes along with it. If you do, hey, become a subscriber. Make sure to hit that notification bell so you can be notified when the next video drops. My next video coming up will be, and I know you've probably seen these, at least one or two of these videos online, but I just picked up the DJI Nano, and I'm gonna compare that against the Insta360 Go 3S because I see a lot of similarities. Even though everybody is in love with the Nano, I've got some issues with that, and so stay tuned for that video. And hey, don't be shy. Go ahead and look around, find some other videos that you might like, and leave a comment if you got value out of this video. Thanks again. This is Mike. We will see you in the next one.